The famous match cut of 2001: A Space Odyssey, dubbed the Bone Cut, is on the surface just an odd transition between two scenes of the film. However, this cut might be one of the most meaningful 5 seconds of footage ever to find its way into a film. Shortly, the plot before the Bone Cut deals with prehistoric man-apes who, through contact with the monolith, come to learn how to use the bones of dead animals as weaponry in order to fight. And this incites the onset of evolution within the man-apes to eventually become man, thus the Dawn of Man title of this portion of the film. In a shot of symbolism, the man-ape throws his triumphant weapon into the air, and although it's never openly mentioned in the film, we cut away to what has been confirmed as a nuclear weapons satellite. This shot demonstrates four things simultaneously. The first is how far humanity has come since our prehistoric days. What was once a primitive bone is now an advanced spaceship. Our technology began as the most basic of materials that we could scavenge and has now become very precisely designed for maximum efficiency. The second is how little humanity has changed. The nuclear satellite has what appears to be a bone shape on its side, as if to suggest that, as we used weaponry in the past, we are essentially no different today. By having a bone on the side, the space weapon is implying that it is just a more advanced version of the exact same thing. The third is how humanity has transitioned from organic to man-made. Our weapons were the remains of dead animals. We found our weaponry on the ground, and in modern times our weaponry is designed specifically for violence. In the prehistoric times they found something its only purpose was to aid a living animal, and they found a new purpose for it. It was this paradigm shift that led to the beginning of evolution of modern man. And as we gradually shifted to things that only serve the purpose of violence, it shows how distant we have become from our roots, and it may be implied that by the end of the film humanity will have to sever ourselves from our propensity for violence and have another paradigm shift. And the fourth thing, which I haven't really heard many people discuss, is that this bone cut demonstrates the ultimate irrelevance of our lives. Let's pretend that we're back in 1968 when the film was released. Or for a better example, let's just pretend that the film doesn't actually take place in 2001 and may perhaps take place in a more distant future than 12 years ago. That would mean that all of human history, from ancient civilizations such as Egypt and Greece to history as we know it now, is entirely irrelevant to the plot of this film. That is to say, the film skips over the Industrial Revolution, the World Wars, etc., because it doesn't matter. What Kubrick may be saying with this shot is that everything humanity has ever known, up until the point where we can live in outer space, is irrelevant to the evolution of mankind. It means nothing in the long scheme of our evolution. Kubrick instead, through the film, shows us the man-ape stuck in a rut, so to speak, until the monolith comes and incites evolution. And then he shows the space segments of the film, essentially saying that we're stuck in a rut and that by the end the monolith will incite the next stage in evolution. That said, we haven't been evolving since the dawn of man, and so the film is shirking off human history up until the point where we colonize space, which still hasn't happened yet, as relevant to the grand scheme of things. And it's this fact, the fact that every piece of art, every historical event, etc., is condensed to a period of 0 seconds between one jump cut from a bone flying in the air in prehistoric times to a nuclear satellite flying in space in future times, that demonstrates just how significant this one shot of film is. Stanley Kubrick has said, in 0 seconds, more than the entirety of any other work of art. He has said that all other things are irrelevant without even having to say it. To the evolution of mankind, all that matters is prehistoric man in our future, not the present and not the majority of our past. This is simultaneously pessimistic by implying our worthlessness as a species so far, and optimistic by implying that we have so much to look forward to. And this is why, in my opinion, these 5 seconds of film are collectively the greatest single segment of film ever released.